wrong for leaking a notebook in which a person described everyone they slept with in detail? I, 19 female, live in university halls. Our student village halls are a house, each with 5 people, each having one single room, and 4 other flatmates, one of whom is Sierra, also 19 female. Each of us have our own room, and we have a communal kitchen with kind of a living room area inside the kitchen. It's exam season, and after that, we are done with our year and we are moving out. All year, Sierra has been a party girl. I am not judging. It's totally normal to party in your first year, and legal drinking age is 18 where I am. I will be lying if I said I didn't party. And she's been experimenting a lot with her sexuality. Again, no judgment, but she's also been very vocal about having a notebook in which she writes down every one-night stand or sexual encounter she had and how she was planning to make it into a book after she graduates. She told a lot of people that she writes down names, body details, and details of encounter. Everyone pretty much ignores her when she's talking about it because we just find it cringy. Well, the other day I was home alone and I went into the kitchen to grab myself a cup of coffee and I noticed a notebook on the table. It looked like one of mine and I was studying in the kitchen a night before, so I grabbed it thinking that I must have left it. Oh boy, was I wrong. Turns out it was Sierra's infamous notebook. It was a train wreck. I know I should have stopped reading, but I couldn't put it down. It was so much worse than anyone thought. It was details of every encounter with scores and disparaging comments about people she slept with. She was rating their bodies, commenting on their skills, smells, etc. Every single detail about the encounter, comparing them to others, and etc. I took photos of every single page and left the notebook where it was, and I didn't mention it. I edited some photos to remove names and posted it anonymously to Facebook group we shared with some people. It blew up all over the campus and Sierra got a lot of hate for this. Well, she ended up figuring out who it was that leaked it and she blew up at me, calling me a bunch of names, threatening me with legal action, etc. And she reported me for bullying to university authorities. Now in the aftermath of her figuring it out, I'm still sitting here wondering if I was really the asshole for posting photos of her notebook. So am I wrong for making it public? Am I wrong for demanding a refund on drinks I bought a stripper? I regularly visit a gentleman's club in my area and for the past few months I've been seeing one particular dancer, Tiffany. In addition to tipping her and getting dances, I buy Tiffany at least one drink every shift. She always requests the same thing, a screwdriver made with a certain brand of vodka. A while back, I went in and Tiffany sat with me as usual. I ordered Tiffany's drink from the barmaid and got one for myself as well. But when I sipped it, I didn't taste any alcohol at all, despite having seen the barmaid pour from the same bottle she used to make Tiffany's drink. Tiffany excused herself to freshen up, and after the barmaid walked away, I grabbed the bottle and poured some into the empty glass. As I suspected, it wasn't vodka, it was plain water. This just sounds so fucking funny to me. When Tiffany came back, I asked if we could go in the back for a dance. When she sat on my lap, I asked her about the fake vodka. I told her I knew it was really water. She tried to tell me it was a one-time thing because she's visiting her sick grandma tomorrow and doesn't want to be too hungover. I pressed her and asked her if she'd been getting water shots the entire time we've been seeing each other. She finally admitted that she's a What? What? She finally admitted that she's a Mormon and doesn't drink alcohol at all. I admit that I got pretty upset about how she lied, so she called a bouncer and I got kicked out. When I tried to go back, I was told that I've been permanently banned from the club. I told him I wanted to speak to a manager and he threatened to kick my ass into next fucking week if I didn't leave. I told him I was basically frauded and that I wouldn't demand any money back for the aborted lap dance, but I wanted a refund on every drink I was tricked into buying for Tiffany. I've been seeing her every Friday and Saturday, plus a few other weeknights from time to time. So even assuming I only bought her 2 drinks on Friday and Saturdays, that puts me at 2 drinks times 2 nights a week times 20 weeks, which equals 80 drinks. Every screwdriver is $12, so that puts me at $960 spent on nothing but orange juice and water. He called me a Utes and hung up, but they haven't heard the end of this. Am I the asshole? Am I wrong for leaving my mother-in-law's funeral after my husband lied to me? So my mother-in-law, my husband's mom, passed away 2 weeks ago. She lived hours away in her hometown and we had to drive 6 hours to get there and attend the funeral later. At first, I didn't want to go and the reason is because of my brother-in-law, Michael. He's my husband's half-brother. Mother-in-law isn't his mom. Michael and I had some issues in the past that I will not elaborate on. I went low contact with him, then full-on no contact. I asked my husband if Michael was going to be there and he said it was a no-brainer since he and mother-in-law had a close relationship. I didn't want to go and my husband argued about it for hours, then came home later and said that Michael would not be there due to travel issues. He lives in another state. I decided to go with my husband, but later on, I was shocked to see Michael walk up to us with his wife and daughter. I froze in my spot and looked at my husband because he lied about him not coming. I did not confront him because they embraced each other and started crying. His wife was watching as I turned around and walked away. I went to a hotel and stayed there. My husband called right after the funeral and was lashing out, calling me ridiculous and unbearable for pulling this stunt and for walking out of the funeral and leaving him there alone. I said he lied to me about Michael's presence at the funeral and he wasn't alone. Apparently he had his family with him. He got loud saying that I was insane to expect his half-brother to miss the funeral of his stepmother and told me to get a clue. I felt so unset that I started crying when he said that I was useless. I packed and went home, but he further argued that I showed no empathy or support by not only walking out of the funeral, but also going home as well. We argued when he came home, and I explained again how he lied to me, but he kept saying that it was illogical to expect Michael not to show up. He told me that I was stuck up and need to get over myself. So, am I wrong for leaving after I felt uncomfortable by Michael's presence? Edit. It doesn't matter what Michael did and what issues we had. A lot of family were calling me harsh for the no contact, but that's a boundary I put, and it should be respected no matter the reason behind it. When Michael first saw me, he looked at his wife, and she looked at me like she was watching my reaction. There were kids around, and I tried to act as calm as I could. Okay, I did some digging to find out what the reason was that she had this boundary with her brother-in-law, and it's as stupid as you think it is. When her husband's father died, there was a disagreement about who inherits the house. His half-brother got it, and her husband didn't want to fight it, but she did. And so that's why she goes no contact with him, because she wanted the house, even though it's not like her place to ask for the house. So with that, do what you want with that information. That's why she's mad at him. There's no, I would give respect to like something like that's a boundary I want to set. Like he did something wrong to me. I get that. But it's about inheritance that wasn't even yours. Your husband wasn't mad about it. Why are you? Hate my twin sister because she lied to our family. I'll try to keep this short. I just want to get it out. My sister and I, 20 female, are twin sisters, almost identical, and she fucked me up completely. I'm what people would call the outgoing twin, while my sister is the shy one. We're as close as twins are, but my mom refused to treat or let anyone treat us as the same person, as we are not really glued to the hip. She has her group of friends and I have mine, and she's really into dating. It's not an attack, but it's important, and I'm really not. But because of the way we are, people believe I'm the one who's having fun and she just stays in her dorm all day, which is not true at all. Well, someone did a revenge porn on my sister and sent a video of her getting... Oh no, I can't. Well, someone did a revenge porn on my sister and sent a video of her getting by two guys to our dad, elder brother, and us with a fucked up message. The video wasn't taken directly on her face. You can tell it's one of us, but it's not close enough or HD enough to tell which. So the next day our parents asked to talk to us. Our elder brother is there too. And I'm like, okay, I'll let her talk since it's clearly not me and not my business. She tells them it's me. She fucking said it was me. I don't know why she lied though. Our parents didn't care at all. Like they're more concerned about the way I don't know, since the video is hers, felt, and I wanted to proceed. I was stunned. I said it wasn't me, but my parents didn't believe me. They kept saying it was okay and that I was already an adult and that things happen and they won't shame me, that the one to blame are the ones sending the video and not me. My elder brother had to get them out of my face because I was on the verge of tears. I don't know what's worse, my sister lying with no reason or my parents not believing me. They left the room to talk to each other and I could only whisper to my brother that it wasn't me, and he said he believed me. He berated our sister in a low volume and she just sat there crying saying sorry. Things are weird now. My sister said she panicked, and since the one in the video isn't me, I said I won't proceed, and if the video gets out, I'll scream my ass out saying it's not me. I don't even want to talk about how my parents are acting. Oh my god. Oh my god. Am I wrong for not getting on a flight upon finding out that he put my kids in economy? So, my fiancé has 3 kids from his former marriage while I have 2. I quit my job to start focusing on getting my degree. He's become the breadwinner, if you will, although I still contribute with my savings. I also do 80% of childcare and chores. Long story short, he wanted me and my kids to attend Thanksgiving dinner with his family, who are located across the country, and we were supposed to go yesterday. He booked our tickets and everything, but later, before the flight, I found out that he, his kids, and myself were put in first class, while my 2 kids, 14 and 10, were put in economy. I was stunned. He acted like it was no big deal and told us it's just a few hours and the kids could just hang in there for a little while. I asked how he could think that this was acceptable, and he got mad and said that he's the one paying for the tickets, then we go by his rules. I immediately turned around and took my kids and made my way out of the airport. He started following us, screaming at me to go back, but I refused and told him that I no longer felt like spending Thanksgiving with his folks after this. My youngest cried because she never flew without me. He went with his kids while me and the kids are home. He has not stopped calling, trying to berate me, and even had his mom text that I needed to get over myself and stop teaching my kids to be spoiled and entitled. She said that the fact that I was willing to miss Thanksgiving with the family over something so trivial shows my real character and personality and mindset, or lack of thereof. I have not replied, but I feel horrible. Am I the asshole? Should I have just let it slide and just went? In case I wasn't clear, me and the kids left our hometown so we could go celebrate with his family in his hometown. My kids weren't too excited leaving their grandparents for a week or so. Okay, she has an update. I'm currently getting myself and the kids packed so that we can go stay with my mother. This has happened before in other instances, but I kept thinking to myself, this is not right, but I have invested too much time and effort in this relationship, so maybe this shouldn't get in the way. And I tried to minimize most situations where I find my kids being put last. Not only that, but he tried to give me an ultimatum regarding getting my degree, and what was my response? This isn't right, but kept making light of it and letting go. Now he's probably badmouthing me to the whole family, and so is his mom, bless her effing heart. The kids and I are leaving. He'll be coming back to an empty home, except he'll find some company with the engagement ring that I took off and left on the nightstand. Distance and some reevaluation is needed right now. Thank you all who reached out with the helpful input and perspectives. You're right, my kids come first, and that's what I keep trying to do, and I hope I won't ever fail. Thank you so much for the support. My girlfriend insisted on an open relationship and now wants to close it, but I'm having the time of my life. How do I proceed? So, me and my girlfriend are both 23 and have been dating for 4 years now. She had an ex before me, but it's my first and everything. Well, 6 months ago, she said she was looking into having an open relationship and it would be good for the two of us to get some experience. That way, we wouldn't get bored of each other. I was very against the idea, but she said there was no other option for her and I didn't want to lose her, so I agreed. We made the rule that we tell each other who and when we were hooking up with and others. And after 2 days of this starting, she went and slept with her ex. I was kind of sad, and to lift my spirits, my friends took me to a club. We danced and enjoyed our time there and joined a girl group. One of them started grinding on me and I took her number. We met up later at my place and we slept together and it was so much better. My girlfriend was what one would call a pillow princess. I had told my girlfriend about her and she just sent a thumbs up emoji and a text that she'd be hooking up with her ex again. It was weird and it did click to me that she just wanted to mess around with her ex, but I was also having fun and didn't want to close up again. I was feeling confident, handsome, and attractive for the first time in a while, and I realized that she never actually made me feel that way. We started seeing each other less and less. We went from hanging out daily for the first 2 years to 3 or 4 times a week to once a week. One day we were out of the mall together and she stopped at a store to try on some clothes. I ran into a friend of mine in the store and we started chatting and openly flirting and ended it with her telling me that she hoped we could meet again soon in front of my girlfriend. I think on that day she changed a bit. She stopped sending me a text telling me who she was hooking up with and she said it was because she wasn't hooking up with anyone anymore. We started spending more time together because she wanted to. She started initiating more and started trying out new stuff and generally being more affectionate. I knew this was love bombing, but I enjoyed it, so I didn't really do much. I still took advantage of the open relationship though and would still go out to have fun, and this started irking her. She asked me why I was still with others now that she was giving me all the attention I wanted, and she insinuated that I wanted to cheat on her, which is why I agreed. To which I said I was the reluctant one and she brought it up. She said she regretted it and she only had one partner and realized he wasn't as good as I was, so she ditched him and now she wants to close the relationship again. I told her what she was like in bed and how I felt horrible around her before, and opening up our relationship brought back my confidence. She started crying and hugged me and said that she didn't know that and she'd make up for it with me and asked me if I was going to leave her. I said it had crossed my mind, but I thought not to. She cried harder, then fell asleep, and I realized that I really don't want to close this relationship. I've been feeling attractive and desired for a while now, and I really enjoy it. She said she'll do her best to make me feel like that and said that she loves me and doesn't want me to leave her, and she's also changed a bit, complimenting me and stuff, which makes me feel a bit better. I'm actually willing to close the relationship, but I would need a guarantee that she won't go back to being what she was, which I don't really have. So here I am. Do you guys think it's best to close the relationship? Should I even stay in this relationship? Will she go back to being what she was?